The last time we took the Honda Civic to the races, we ended up having to load it on the trailer before Rachel ran the feature. When we ran the heat race, the heat built up, and by the time she got to the pits, it was up like 230 degrees, and it was running really, really warm. I watched this video right here after I recorded that, and I wasn't exactly right. I didn't realize what was going on. Check it out. It's not hot. She ran the whole race full throttle. Car stayed cool, 170, 180 degrees. Now, sitting here idling, waiting to get off the track, it's getting hotter and hotter. And this is really interesting because I was kind of guessing in this video, and I made an assumption about what's going on, and my assumption based on what I'm seeing in this video was spot on. So let's get back to the video. We'll go through me kind of looking this over and trying to figure out what's going on. But good information right here. And anyway, electric fan was working, and we could see it was starting to perk just a little bit of water out the overflow tube that I had on it. You know, but no steam coming out anywhere or anything. And then turn around and I let it idle, you know, sitting in the pits. I just let it idle and the fans running and everything. And it was just steadily getting hotter, steadily getting hotter. Ran fine, no misses, no issues there, but just steadily getting hotter. And so anyway, so something's going on, we got to deal with it. And still had water in it and everything, and I was just going to look at the oil. It's still exactly full of oil. So the oil level hasn't rose. That would be a sign. If this oil was real milky and it had rose, that would say, okay, I've blown a head gasket internally some kind of way. If you had steam out the exhaust, that could be a blowed head gasket. Also, if you blow a head gasket into the coolant system, it'll puke water like crazy where the pressure goes into the radiator and pushes water, so you'll just spray water like crazy out your radiator cap and overflow, if that's the case. Or you can blow a head gasket to the outside of the engine, you'll see steam boil out from underneath the hood like that. But none of that. Brand new big racing radiator. This is way more radiator than this little 95 horse engine needs right here. So I got plenty of radiator. Has two big fans on the back of it. It's all racing setup. They were just blowing a ton of air through it. So I know that's not a problem. So at this point, I'm down to just flow of coolant, which could be the water pump or thermostat. And we're hoping thermostat. I don't even know exactly how the water pump works on this. It must be drove off the timing belt because it is not being drove off of either of the accessory belts. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this top clamp loose, and we can start dialing this down because we can crank this thing up. And see, immediately, yeah. So I've got water traveling immediately out. All right, so that's interesting. So we definitely have flow coming through. No doubt about it. And so then that's the question I got now is like, wait a minute, shouldn't the thermostat have that cut off? But it's just immediately running. You know, it's running me down on water. But I know the water pump's working. Why isn't that thermostat closed? That's really making me look at that thermostat, and I think we're fixing to pull this apart and take a look at that thermostat. Something going on there. Let's get this. I don't even know where the thermostat's on this thing. I'm going to assume the thermostat is somewhere. Let me unplug that before I mess it up. That's our temperature sensor for that aftermarket that we did. I'm going to assume that somewhere in here I have got thermostat. Yeah. You know, we got guys at the track and we was like, it's overheating, and of course we were having a terrible night because we'd broke the axle on the trailer and all that, and they were like, ain't no problem, we can get that out of there right now or whatever. And I was just like, no, we're gonna load it up. We're not gonna press our luck tonight. We are not going to press our luck tonight, but I tell you, Rachel was disappointed because she's about figured this car out, and it hadn't got much power. But boy, once she gets going, this little sucker's competitive. We have just had so much fun with this. I think I'm going to build another one, y'all. I would have never called myself a Hummer guy or whatever, but they're so easy to build, and there's just nothing to it. The cars are so cheap. It's like, and the fact that we've learned that, you know, you really don't have to go and spend a bunch of money on a bunch of engine and stuff to actually get out there and be competitive. I don't know, it just makes me feel good about racing. Oh, there went that bolt. I'll pick it up. Okay, there's the thermostat. Come here, come here, come here. Okay. What thermostat? Look, there is no thermostat. Okay. So somebody, oh, that's interesting. Somebody has already took this thermostat out. Okay, that's really interesting. I guess we got to go further, y'all. We got to go further. What in the world? We gotta look and see how this all works in here. Totally open, totally normal. And it looks clean. I don't see any corrosion up in there. All right, so the thermostat was already gutted, and there is no restriction in this. The passages look clean. I don't see any corrosion. I got a brand new big racing radiator. When it runs, I've got flow going through it, good, but it flat out was building heat, and even sitting idling in the pits, it could not cool itself back down. I didn't appear to have a head gasket blown that was pushing water or anything like that. I've studied this situation and I've put it all back together. I'm gonna crank it up and check and make sure. I looked and said there weren't any bubbles, but I need to make sure, because like there's one or two things. I have a theory, but we'll see. It's not got a big head gasket leak. If it had a big head gasket leak, it would immediately start to build the pressure. I'm seeing movement through it, but no bubbles. Let me show y'all what I did. Check this out. So I just took a couple clamps, because this is my hose. This is the heater core hose right here. Inside this thermostat, where it was bypassing inside of it, I blocked that where the water has to go through the radiator. But then right here, you see, I just took some small worm gear clamps and I just clamped that hose off, because I still have to plug that, so I just clamped it right there. So I've blocked off the passage that was inside the thermostat housing. I got that taken care of. I put a bolt through it where that all the water has to come, you know, through the block and then through the radiator from the bottom, and then back into the block through this passage. It can't bypass around. So I got that taken care of, and then the heater core bypass that I made, I actually put a clamp in it to pinch it off, or water's not going to bypass through it anymore. So I've got one circulation system that goes through the radiator, can't bypass around it anywhere. I'm not seeing any bubbles or anything coming out of the radiator. Now that doesn't mean that I don't have a seeping head gasket that's only under pressure, you know, under pressure, hot engine, seeping head gasket. I don't have experience with these Hondas. If you've got experience with these Hondas and that's something that's common or whatever, put it in the comments. Let me know, because I don't know. But I know this much. I don't want to tear this engine down yet. Let me go this route. Let's take it back. Let's run it. You know, like Rachel, like the car's hooked up so good that like Rachel gets out there and she's just holding it on the floor, which, because it's lower horsepower. But the thing about it is, with a big racing radiator and being lower horsepower, she ought to be able to hold this thing on the floor. It shouldn't hurt this engine. It should just sit there and be happy. You know, because we're only turning it, you know, 7,000, 7,500. She's occasionally hitting the rev limiter, which on this engine's 8,000, but only right at the end of the straightaway when she hits it. So, like, we're not hurting this engine the way we're running it. So I say with doing this right here, if it still runs hot, it's junk. I got to pull the head gasket off, take a look, see what's going on. Is it a crack somewhere? Before I do all that, we may go ahead and get that block built that I got back for the Camaro leaf spring car. You know, this is just to have fun right now while we're working on the Camaro leaf spring car. Or, no, while we're raising money to work on the leaf spring Camaro car. Regardless, this is where we're at with the Honda Civic. Still loving this thing. Wish I wasn't having this problem, but hopefully I got it figured out. We'll run it again. See you next time, y'all.